Welcome back to another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I am THI publisher Andrew Jones, and today, the flip side of yesterday's conversation. Yesterday, I addressed 3 reasons UNC fans should be concerned heading into March. Today, I'm going to talk about 3 reasons Carolina fans should be optimistic heading into March. The Tar Heels only have scheduled games left remaining in the month of March. It's almost here. February is in the books for Carolina, 22-6 overall, 14-3 in the ACC, 3 wins in a row. Haven't been super pretty, but 3 wins in a row or 3 wins in a row. The Tar Heels 10-game win streak ended 8 games ago. They're 5-3. They're 5-3 in that stretch of 8 games since they lost Georgia Tech 5-2. With that win over Duke, of course. So we're going to hit on the 3 things. Before I do, very quick reminder, for just $8.33 a month, you can be a Tar Heel insider too. I cannot impress upon you guys enough that the more subscribers we get, even if you aren't a subscriber and you just watch us on YouTube right now, you should head over to our site and check it out, because there are so many more things we do on the site, and that is intel, that is premium intel, that you're never going to catch on any of these shows. Any of these podcasts, any of our tweets on our Facebook page, none of that stuff. You're not going to get it. You have to be a premium subscriber. And it's important because this is a business. We are a accredited media outlet. It costs money to do business, just like in whatever jobs you guys have, it costs money as well. So it's just $8.33 a month. That's the price of pretty much any numbered meal in a drive-through restaurant now, fast food restaurant. And it's the same price it was when I took over the site August 1st, 2014. It's almost 10 years ago, guys. Same price. Nothing else is the same price. Nothing is even close to the same price it was then. But we're still the same price. And the more subscribers we get, the more stuff we can do. And of course, you guys will have a ton of perks, inside information. You could be the expert at work. You could be the expert in your neighborhood, at the bar, at the golf course, wherever it is you go. Coffee shop. Because there's so much recruiting information, most of it's premium. There's a lot of inside intel about the football and basketball program we put on the board. And the community is phenomenal. It's a great place to hang out because there's so many knowledgeable, passionate Carolina Tar Heel fans, just like yourself, hanging out over there. So it's just $8.33 a month, guys, for a 1-year sub. Head on over there, become a member of our community, and become a Carolina Tar Heel insider as well. Now, 3 reasons for you guys to be optimistic entering March. I talked yesterday in the drop about too much reliance on RJ Davis. I do think that that's a concern. However, the flip side of that is they know they got a dude. As Harrison Ingram told me the other night, he's him. He really is. If there is a number 2 in the National Player of the Year race right now, it very well could be RJ Davis. I think Zach Edey's going to run away with the thing. We'll address that perhaps in another daily drop coming up soon. But RJ is ACC Player of the Year, no doubt. He's running away with it, in my opinion. And he is having one of the great senior seasons I can recall from a Tar Heel as long as I've been covering the Tar Heels. And this is my 28th year working with various media outlets covering UNC, 10th year doing it only covering UNC. I used to cover a lot of the other schools too. So RJ is so good that he can carry the team through stretches of NCAA tournament games, ACC NCAA tournament games. He's the kind of guy that could put the team on his back for 10 minutes and just explode. He's the kind of guy that can get you 3 threes in 2 minutes and turn a 2-point game into an 11-point game, or turn a 4-point deficit into a 5-point advantage. He's that kind of player. There aren't that many guys like him in college basketball. And the thing about it is, when you start looking at the other top candidates for Player of the Year and the kind of guys that their teams will rely on them to do these things, nobody has the ball in their hands more than RJ. Nobody can control flow as well as RJ. Zach Edey can't. Tristan Newton can at times, but he's not their point guard, and he doesn't play on the point that much. That's more Cam Spencer. You look at Dalton Connect at Tennessee. Someone's got to get him the ball. RJ, though, is able to do this by just Elliott moving off and RJ's on. So Carolina has that guy. They have that dude. They have that him who can get them buckets, who can break ankles, as we saw the other night, turning Matthew Cleveland into a puddle. And he could do it to really good defensive players. And he could create baskets, not just from three, and get in the lane. That off his left foot runner, that floater where his right leg's in the air, right knee's in the air, it's beautiful. And he works on that before every game. In fact, I shot a clip of him warming up for the Miami game Monday and put it out there for everybody. That's what he comes out and does. He's getting his groove right. They all get their groove right away, but that's interesting that he's got a little bit of a floater groove when he is in the early stages of his warming up before a game. It's deadly. He gets to the rim. He gets to the foul line. He hits free throws. So they have a guy that could carry them through stretches. They have a guy that anybody in America would be as confident to have him take a last shot as anybody else in the country if Carolina's in that situation. So having a dude like that, that's huge going into March. Another thing is that while in yesterday's drop, I talked about the need for the other guys to be more consistently productive. And that is true. Cormac Ryan needs to be more consistent. They need to get Armando the ball more. Harrison Ingram needs more catch and shoot threes. Elliott needs more lanes to drive. That's the way they get their points, right? They need to consistently do more than what they have been doing on a game-by-game basis. But one of the positives is that during this period, since the 10-game win streak ended, we have seen each of them flare up big time. Elliott's game at Miami, Harrison had the huge game against Duke. Armando has had quite a few huge games. And Cormac had that 3-game stretch where he averaged almost 18 points a game. That's big. That's very big because you know that it's there. You know that on a given night, one of those guys could go off and have a huge game. And if RJ is doing the 25-point thing, if somebody else, especially not named Baycott, is in that 18-point range, and then you get general Baycott type stuff in that game, that might be enough to get you past that round. But you need to have someone flare up. You need a flare up. And you need Armando to get touches, and you need Armando to go to the line. I know he went 1 for 6 the other night. I just didn't have a very good game, but Armando shot very well from the line this year. He was over 80% going into the game. So you need more help for RJ. And that means these guys who have shown they can flare up have got to flare up, at least to a degree. I think the baseline for Cormac should be around 11 points. The baseline for Harrison should be around 12 points. He needs to shoot more. Sometimes he passes up shots, and I think he could take those. Elliott needs to be around 8 points. Armando needs to be around 15. That's the baseline. So if you're talking that right now, we're talking, if you throw in RJ, you're talking 70 points. So what do you get from the bench? Got to get a little bit from Trimble, got to get a little bit from Withers, got to get a little bit from Washington. Those three are going to be the primary guys coming off the bench in the postseason. If they can get 10 points on the bench, boom, you're at 80 points. 80 points go win a lot of NCAA tournament games. And if you add in a flare-up, let's say Elliott doesn't get many looks and he's at 4. Let's say Cormac's off a little bit and he's at 7. But if there's a flare-up by Harrison and he's at, say, 19 or 20, that makes up for it. RJ needs help. The other guys have shown they can flare up, and they need to flare up from a higher base from where they've been the last month or so. The other thing is that this team understands what this month is all about. They're veterans. They have a passion. They really want to win games. You see how much they enjoy winning. They don't take it for granted. They're not always dialed in to start games, but these guys are competitive and they love winning. I've seen more fist pumps on a consistent basis from more different guys this year than I can recall watching North Carolina in a while. The 17 team had a lot of fist pumps. When Justin Jackson started pumping the fist his junior year, He started grabbing more rebounds, which pleased Roy. Roy was begging him for 2 years to grab more rebounds. He took his game to another level. That team went to another level. Kennedy Meeks was fist pumping. Isaiah Hicks, who's a shy dude, started fist pumping. You see what I'm saying here? This team has fist pumpers. Harrison's a fist pumper. Cormac's a fist pumper. If you saw the emotion from Elliot Cadeau the other night with RJ's performance, he's become that guy. He's a quiet dude. At least with us he is, but he's a fist pumper out there. Armando, not so much the fist pumper because he's kind of been around. He's sort of the grandpa that gathers everybody, but he knows the deal. He knows the drill. He's been in that title game. He had doubles for 6 straight games in the tournament. No one else has ever done it. He understands what it's all about. RJ went 12 assists in the first NCAA tournament game 2 years ago, 30 points the next game. The only Carolina player to ever do that in consecutive NCAA tournament games. And oh, by the way, 12 rebounds in the national championship game, 6 on the offensive end. He got them through to the title game where they had a 15-point lead at the half. And by the way, his 14 points in the first half against Duke in the Final Four was huge. Huge. It was sort of the bridge that got them to the second half when they were able to get that win. He was enormous in the first half of that game. So those two have been there. They've done that. Then you've got veteran guys like a veteran guy like Withers, who's played a lot of basketball, and he showed Monday night that he can handle the moment. He was enormous the last 5 seconds of that game. Seth Trimble is coming along and becoming one of those guys. And Jalen Washington has had some moments. So this is a group that I think can handle what they'll need to handle in the tournament. They'll handle the media responsibility. They'll handle the distractions. They'll handle, as Hubert calls, the phones, the friends, and the family. I think they can handle those things. I think they're a club that can go into a long photo shoot with CBS and then come out and have a really good practice. I really do. And not every team is built that way. And this is a group where a lot of these guys haven't had NCAA success before. Cormac won a couple of games 2 years ago. Jalen's never played an NCAA tournament game. Harrison's never played an NCAA tournament game. But there's no doubt those guys could handle this. And I think that is something you'll never find on a stat sheet. You're never going to see in a bio. Oh, he handles big situations well without examples. I just think that this team will handle going to Los Angeles if they're in the West region. They'll be fine going out there and playing. If they have to turn right around and go to Phoenix for the Final Four, I think they'll approach it the right way. So the disposition of this group, their maturity, their smarts, and their ability to sort of process what's there, I think is a huge attribute going into March, because March can freak some dudes out. Sometimes March makes guys tight. Sometimes March makes guys too loose. I think there's an even keel nature with this group that they're going to carry into this month. And that is going to be one of their 3 main strengths, qualities going into March. And those are 3 reasons why I think you guys should be optimistic. This club can get to Phoenix, but they got to clean up some stuff. They haven't played that well the last month. They haven't been a Final Four team the last month. They've had sequences in which they were Final Four-like, but they haven't been. So the stuff that was addressed yesterday needs to be fixed. And if it's fixed, and the 3 things identified today are what I discussed, this is a club that can absolutely get to Phoenix. No doubt in my mind, but they've got some work to do. And it's certainly going to be very interesting and a pleasure chronicling whatever happens, because I enjoyed this team. They got some good guys. They're an interesting team to cover from a basketball standpoint, and certainly after games as well. If you guys don't watch the player interviews, you should. There's some really, really smart dudes who give pretty good post-game interviews, and it's worth it. Some fans just want to hear the coach. I think you got to listen to these players because they're pretty straight up about stuff. And that's another reason why I think they can handle this, because there's a ton of media attention and more as you get along in the tournament. And some teams struggle with that. Some guys really have trouble with that. This group won't. They'll handle it really, really well. So let me know what you think. What do you think of these 3 reasons to be optimistic? And give me some more. What are some other reasons to be optimistic about the Tar Heels heading in to the month of March. Let me know. If you like this video, go ahead and click like. Make sure you share this and all of our videos that you enjoy with all of your Carolina Tar Heel friends. Let them know we're here. Hit that notification bell so you get updates every time we upload. And guys, it's just $8.33 a month, man. If you love the Tar Heels and you want more information, it's a no-brainer. It's $8.33 for a one-year sub. Head on over there, and you could be a Tar Heel insider too. I'm AJ. Thanks for stopping by.